Welcome to the DisLove podcast with Vanessa and Chris. I'm Vanessa Ferguson.
And I'm Chris Johns.
We would like to welcome you to show number 137. And for any listeners joining us for the first time, our show features things we love at Disney. And in each episode, we have a guest who creates Disney magic for our listeners at home or on their Disney vacation. From vacation planners to product producers, our guests can bring Disney magic into your life. And as a reminder to our listeners, we appreciate if you can take time to leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or any other platform where you listen. We always enjoy giving shout outs to those listeners. And of course, that helps the show grow. And on today's show, we are going to be joined by Kalyn with A Scoop of Glitz LLC. She has all sorts of really fun glitter products, including custom hair gels and other fun accessories. We even got a chance to use some of her products on a trip we just took, including when we were attending Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, which is what we will be reviewing today. And when we attended the party, not only did we use Kalyn's products, we also got to, if you check out our last episode where we talked about Halloween across Walt Disney World, and we used one of the story hunts done by Next Page with Meg. So definitely check the last episode out as well if you're interested in all things Disney Halloween. So we're going to talk, I'll give a quick review if for anybody who didn't listen to our last episode where we talked a lot of different Halloween stuff, but this one is just going to focus on the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. And I'll give a quick review of that. But before we talk about some of the general things about it, what was just your general feeling about the party, Chris?
It was really nice. I think the weather was perfect. So it was one of those things where you could enjoy excellent weather in your costume. I know in years past we've dressed up and it was warm and it makes it just for a different experience, but there was just a little bit of rain to deal with, which I think helped with the heat, and it also helped moderate some of the crowds.
Yes. So as a point of reference, I think it had been almost 9 years since Chris had gone. I was there in 2019, right before the pandemic. So it had been a while since we had been to the Halloween party. And for any of you who've not attended, or just kind of as a reminder, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party is one of those separate ticketed events. It's at Magic Kingdom and you pay a separate cost. It varies. There's some discounts, like we were able to get a Disney Vacation Club discount. Certain nights there's discounts available. Certain nights there's not. The cost can be more than a one-day ticket, so it's something to think about. We didn't even go to a park that day. We did some family photos earlier in the day with Chapman Photography at Grand Floridian. Then we went to a dinner at Ohana, early dinner at 3:30, and then we headed over for the party. So we've done both. We've done where we went to the parks all day and then stayed for the party. If you're at the park where the party is, sometimes it can be busy or not busy. It kind of just depends, because sometimes people avoid that park. You will sometimes have a lot of people who are going to the party there. I will say this time, I think it worked out nice. So you can get in as early as 4:00. The lines have been very, very long. We took the monorail to go over to the Polynesian to eat our dinner. And I think we went in front of Magic Kingdom around 3:00, and they were already lined way up.
Yes, I think like most things Disney, if there's something, whether it be an exclusive experience or a bucket, people will get there early, and this was no different.
Yeah, so what a lot of people arrive early for is there are exclusive characters, and one of the big ones that people line up right at 4:00 for is the characters from They want to see the characters from Nightmare Before Christmas, because this is really the only place you can see them. So Jack Skellington and Sally, there's huge lines for those. So those people that we saw when we were on the monorail were lined up for them. I will say that's not an interest to us, so we weren't concerned about that. We had the earliest dinner reservation at Ohana. We ended up being a little bit longer because there was a fire drill in the middle.
Yes, right in the middle of dinner service, which at one point people didn't really think it was serious, but it was.
Yeah,
we all had to leave, and we had my mom was in a scooter, so that just took a little bit of effort. But overall, we were able to get back to our seat and enjoy the rest of our food.
Yeah, so I think we made it to the park. It was around 5:30. closer to 6. So we missed those lines. We walked right in, which was nice for us. And if you're not familiar, what they do is they give you a wristband and they have you take the walkway that will be closed off during normal times to the right of, like, when you're first entering the park. So you get your trick or treat bag, which that's one of the things, you get to trick or treat all night. There's special food offerings. There are special shows, different things like that, which we'll talk about. You get your trick or treat bag. You get a full size M&M bag of M&Ms, and there's some cute little statues and stuff you can take your pictures by. And then what they essentially do is you come out near the Plaza restaurant. And from there, you can go to whatever part of the park. The park technically closes to day guests at 6:00. And then at 7, the party kicks off. So it's kind of that 1 hour interim period to get people in and out of the park. I will say it was pretty busy at that 5:30-ish time, because I think there were still people that were there for the day trying to get in a few rides. And then there were all the guests for the party arriving. So we just did the People Mover, which is one of our favorite things to do anyways.
It was really fun. It was just nice to sit and enjoy. And again, the weather was just right, where there was rain on the forecast and you can kind of feel a little bit, but just a little sprinkle. But overall, the weather was perfect People Mover weather.
Yes. So as Chris had kind of mentioned earlier, in years past, we've done full costumes. There were some people there in very elaborate costumes. This year we opted, because we had my parents and my mother-in-law with us, we just did matching t-shirts. And I will say, because it did rain a little bit, I'm kind of glad we had on shirts and not costumes that, I don't know, we've had some costumes, I don't want to really use the word sticky, but you kind of get sticky if you get wet in certain costumes, the materials. So we had t-shirts and just shorts on, and that worked out perfectly. There are rules about costumes. So one of the things that's important to remember is kids 13 and under are the only ones that can wear masks. There are some rules about making sure that you can see through them, etc. But adults, which starts at age 14, you are not allowed to wear masks, but you can wear costumes for characters. The big thing is they say you should not be signing autographs. So if you're dressed as Cinderella, don't stop and sign autographs. But that's something to keep in mind. So what we did from there is, really, by the time we got off the People Mover, they were already starting to do the trick or treat spots. So how this works is the trick or treat spots are set up around the park, and they do close some of the shows. So we were in Tomorrowland, so we went by Carousel of Progress. They had that shut down to have a trick-or-treat spot. Over in Adventureland, the Tiki Room is shut down to have a spot. Country Bear is shut down. So there's certain shows that are not going to be open. I think all of the rides, I can't think of any rides that are closed. All of the rides are open, but they do close some of those shows to make room for the trick-or-treat spots. So right away with the first stop, they fill up. They were giving you scoopfuls of candy. And I will say, a little bit after that, my mother-in-law ended up leaving. She wasn't feeling great. And I think she still had half a bag of candy, and we had only went to like 2 trick-or-treat spots.
Yes, they definitely front load you with a lot of candy. Very
so bring
nice.
An extra bag.
Bring an extra bag, yes.
We had a couple of large bags and a drawstring backpack because you really need it. We'll talk more about how much candy we ended with at the end of the night in a little bit. But so they have the trick-or-treat spots. And then from there, what we decided to do is we kind of prioritized. We had our fun scavenger hunt from Next Page with Meg. So we were already starting to do some of the questions with that, which is fun because it's integrated into all parts of the park. We went to some of the photo ops. So they do have special photo ops with backdrops. Like there was a really cool Mr. Toad one that we did. Later in the evening, we did some of the special effect ones at Haunted Mansion, which are super fun to do. And we also decided for us, we wanted to spend some time with characters that we knew our daughter would like. So we went to Adventureland, and we waited in line, and we saw Jasmine and Genie and Jafar, which was really great. Our daughter enjoyed that a lot. I will say, because we did have some rain, they did some modifications with some of the entertainment. So what will happen is there are stage shows in front of the castle. There's one in Tomorrowland. There are also some fun party sorts of things for kids. So when it was raining a little bit, I took our daughter into Cosmic Rays, and they had a Disney Junior dance party. And this was super fun. Even if you are not a little one, you might enjoy it. They have a DJ playing lots of familiar Disney tunes, and they brought in characters that you don't normally see. Now, here's one thing. You're not going to be able to pose with these characters. I got pictures of where my daughter is in the audience dancing with these characters, but they're not going to stop and take pictures. So they had Doc McStuffins. They had Max. So Goofy's son Max was there. He was like leading some of the dances and fun things like that. They had a couple of characters from Lion King. So you get to interact with them, but you're not going to, hey, stop and take a post picture. So at some of these events, that's important to note. This was just at the Disney Junior Dance Party, and that was at Cosmic Rays. We also went and saw a little bit later parts of the stage shows. So the show in front of the castle is super fun. It's a Hocus Pocus one. We only saw part of it this time. I saw the whole show in years past. And even if you're not a Hocus Pocus fan, it's just got a lot of fun elements to that show as well. Now, what happens when it rains? So there are 2 parades and there is one showing of the fireworks. Because it was kind of drizzling for the first parade, they had a condensed cavalcade like they do when we've gone to the Villains and some of the other ones. We were going to go watch it, and by the time we got out of line with Jasmine, it was already over. That's how short these were. But the good news is that even though they canceled the first parade, later in the evening, they still had the full parade. So if something happens and they have to cancel any of the shows or a parade, check back, because it doesn't mean that the second one isn't going to happen. So we were fortunate and we got to see the Boo to You parade later that evening. We got to see the second one after the fireworks. And I tell you what, if you've not seen, I'm not a parade person, but I would say this Boo to You parade is one of my favorite Disney parades.
Yes, it has a lot of pizzazz. There's just something going on. There's so many wonderful things. And I think the best part about it is that it brings out characters you don't see.
Yes. Yeah.
And so there's really an exclusivity that you better really enjoy this parade, because I think if you're an avid Disney goer, you've seen the parade, a lot of the characters, oh, I've seen that person before. Well, when it's a Boo to You, you better be watching. It's new to you because you better be watching, because there's going to be characters that are going to go away and not come out for another 11 months.
Yeah, so it's a very catchy tune. Neither one of us are singers, so we will spare you that. But I'll put a link to the song in the show notes because it's just fun and you get it in your head. Even talking about it right now, I have it stuck in my head. So we ended up, I will say what we decided is trick-or-treating wasn't a priority for us, but we did it. I know there's some people that trick-or-treat and hit every stop. For us, we didn't hit every stop. And there's even a trick-or-treat trail that you enter by Tron and that you take along the pathway that goes all the way back to by like Dumbo. We didn't take that either. And between 5 of us, and my parents ended up at a few stops more than us. Okay, here, Chris, I don't know if you really listened when we did this. Do you know how many pounds of candy we ended up with? And this was just like not going out of our way to look.
4 pounds.
More.
8 pounds.
16.5 pounds.
Wow, I was not listening.
Yes.
Nor paying attention.
So we got 16.5 pounds of candy, and this is good candy. It's Mars, so there's M&M's, Milky Way, Snickers, Starburst, Skittles, lots of great candy. So we did not go out of our way to get candy, and we had 16.5 pounds of candy. So I know people who do go out of their way end up with even more. So that's something to keep in mind. They do have special stops for people with allergies. The last time I had been with a friend who had some allergies, and they're really great about that. So it's nice that you can still go and enjoy the party and get those treats. Now, there's also lots of really great food that you can try during the party that's only available during the party. Like, for instance, I know at Cosmic Rays, they had several different items and some really tasty looking things, but we had eaten at Ohana's, and we had eaten a lot of food at Ohana's. So we did not partake. I think you might have got an ice cream thing, right?
I did, and it was horrible.
Well, but it wasn't one of the exclusives.
It was.
It was?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was not good.
Well, that's a bummer. Which item was it? Do you remember?
It was like a black velvet cookie. I just wanted a chocolate chip cookie with cookies and cream. Oh, no, we have the special one. It's good. It was...
not good.
It was not very good.
And if you've listened to the show for a long time, you know Chris is always chasing the elusive chocolate chip ice cream cookie sandwich. And this one did not meet his standards. So that was the only food that we really tried during the party. But in years past, I have tried lots of different things. I will say, if you want to do the food, you should plan it out ahead of time, because certain places have desserts, certain places have like entree kind of things. I did buy a special sipper at Petco's Bill. I got a Donald Duck Halloween sipper that is super cute. He's a candy corn. So they do have some of that sort of stuff. The other thing that we decided to kind of skip on, because we were getting on a Halloween sailing the next day on the Wish, we didn't spend time looking for merchandise either. In years past, we've gotten spirit jerseys or special things. There's a really cool thing that I'm actually wanted to do, but I forgot. On Main Street in the Crystal Shop, they will do some hand-blown glass pumpkins that say Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party that you can only get during the party. And we unfortunately forgot about it and didn't buy them that night. But overall, we saw a lot of the entertainment. So over by the Pirates of the Caribbean, we saw the band playing. We saw a lot of the other music in some of the other parts of the park. We went on Pirates. We went on a few different rides that were important for us to enjoy. But overall, I think we just kind of took our time soaking it in and going around and hitting up things that we knew we wanted to do. We did do the virtual queue for Tron. This was the first time Chris and I had ever ridden Tron. So if you're going to any of the after hours things at 6:00, you can enter the virtual queue. And we ended up with a very late virtual queue. We went, I think at like 11:45 is when we ended up riding.
Very late.
But we had the queue, and that's an advantage too, because if you are there during the day and you miss out getting on a ride, you can get on the virtual queue for that, and really doesn't impact the Halloween party. But we had a lot of fun on Tron.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, so Chris wasn't too sure about it, but we enjoyed it in the end. But overall, I think the biggest thing is I felt like from friends who've gone in the last few years since COVID, that the party was finally back to its full capacity. You had full entertainment, full candy. There was nothing missing that I remember from when I last went in 2019. So I think that's great to see that the party's back. Everything's back in full tilt. So that's super exciting to see. And I think it continues to be those iconic things. For me, I think you could skip a day in the park if budget was important for you and you couldn't afford to have a park ticket that day and go to just the Halloween party. I would definitely skip a day to the park and go to the party.
Definitely. You're going to have access to rides. You know, again, Tron, the newest ones, there's going to be a line, but it's Disney. But the main thing is just it's at night, it's a bit cooler, and we will enjoy the earlier part of the day and really make the most of our Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween adventure.
Yes. So overall, that was kind of our experience. It was a little bit different too, because we had our daughter with us. So we were trying to hit up like the Disney Junior dance party and hitting up characters that we would normally maybe not wait for. So it was kind of fun to do that. And I think overall, these after hours events, whether it's Christmas, just that regular after hours, or the Halloween, these continue to be some of my favorite events Disney puts on.
Definitely.
So we look forward to, we'll share lots of pictures with you, some more information about the about the party. You can go back and listen to the last episode where we share some more about it. The park's all decked out. They have really cool lighting effects, just a whole different atmosphere that I think you will all enjoy. So now we're going to bring up our call with Kalyn. And I know we had some super cute Halloween themed glitter that she did, my mom and myself, and of course our daughter, we wore it for the party. So we're looking forward to sharing all about her business with you. We'd like to welcome Kalyn to the show. Her shop, A Scoop of Glitz, offers all kinds of really fun and unique hair and body glitter gels. She is a former 911 dispatcher. She's a beauty queen and a dancer. And of course, like all of us, she's a Disney-loving fan. She calls herself a Disney-loving glitter mama and wife. And we are super excited to have Kalyn on the show. Welcome.
Hi, thank you.
Now, we start off by asking people something about what they enjoy on their Disney trips. And lately, we've been asking people, what is your favorite character to meet at the parks or at a restaurant? Or just what's your favorite character to meet?
That's such a hard question.
Yes.
For me, definitely Mickey Mouse.
Yes. Do you have a
Definitely.
favorite spot to meet Mickey?
No, I usually just kind of hunt him down on the map and I'll be wherever he is.
For sure, for sure. I know it's always fun to get him in his different outfits too at different places. I like being able to get a new outfit with Mickey.
Yeah, this year was the first year that I got to see Halloween Mickey, so I was really excited about that.
Oh, for sure. That's always fun to get the holiday ones, or I know we'll be going on a cruise soon, so I get always excited to get when he's in a new outfit.
Yes.
Now, we've been wanting to know, of course, all about your business and what are the products you offer connected to Disney.
So the main focus of my shop is hair, face, and body glitter gels. I also do hand rhinestone items like sunglasses, headbands. I've done tutus, hand mirrors, stuff like that. But the biggest sellers and the main focus are the glitter gels, which are aloe-based, so they're safe for your face, your hair, your skin, and even pets.
So for somebody who's not saw your products before, do you do like custom? How does that, like you have glitter and stuff in them? Or there's some with designs? I know I've saw pictures, but maybe describe for our listeners.
Yeah, sure. So I do work closely with another small shop, and she actually hand cuts different glitter shapes. And so if I have someone message me that wants something like a specific princess or like a Stitch character, we'll try to do something inspired by that and kind of collab together. And then I actually mix the glitters together. So each individual jar is hand mixed. So no two glitters are ever the same.
Wow, that's awesome.
Now, you mentioned these handmade glitters. What inspired you to get into this line of work?
That would be mostly because I was a boy mom for 3 years before I had my baby girl, and she's my last baby and my only girl. And of course, like every other girl mom, I was really interested in bows. And you always hear about how babies like don't keep on their shoes or they don't keep on their bows, but my daughter is not that way. She begs for accessories. She loves her bows, her shoes, necklaces, purses, sunglasses, and so glitter gels I thought would be just the perfect addition to her little bougie look.
And our daughter's the same way. She has to have a bow. Like today I did her hair and I was just trying not to do a bow because I did a cute style. No, she had to go get a bow. I had to put the bow in. So I totally understand. Our daughter's the same way. Now we want to know, like, how do you think that your products add some Disney magic to your customers' lives?
I mean, if they've ever met Tinkerbell, then I think she would agree that it's basically pixie dust.
That's true.
And I have to agree. And speaking of pixie dust, I just recently learned kind of what that term means as far as Disney goes. And so on our last trip, I actually packaged up little individual Disney glitters and little matching stickers, and we left them around resorts and parks for other people to find and enjoy a free sample of them. So that definitely added magic that way. And then also it just really enhances any outfit. So whether it's like a Halloween costume or cosplay or a sporting event or just everyday wear, it just brings the whole outfit together and just, I don't know, I feel like it just is a boost of confidence for a lot of people.
Now, do you have certain ones that you offer all the time? I know you talked about how each one's like kind of handmade, but do you have certain styles that you kind of keep in stock, or is everything just custom?
No, I definitely love glitter so much so that I could pretty much never run out of anything.
Okay.
I have thousands of colors and thousands of things. Like I have some stuff on hand that people probably don't even know that I have. So customs are fun because it's unique to each person and I get to meet people and have different conversations with people, but I do theme drops every 2 weeks too. So if you're maybe not the most creative person or you don't really know what you're looking for, then you can go to my Facebook page. I have a VIP where pretty much everybody goes to find inspiration, and you can look on there.
Now, if I were having, like, we have a trip coming up and we actually have some products coming for our daughter to use, but if somebody was planning a trip or even if they just want some for at home for a certain occasion, how soon should they reach out if they're not buying like from one of those set drops that you have?
So my turnaround time, unless I have to custom order something, like I was talking about how I collab with another small shop sometimes, if I have it on hand already, I can get it out as quick as 1 to 3 business days usually. I'm pretty quick about it. If I have to order something from another shop, then it usually is like 5 to 7 days. So it's not too long.
Now, I know you sell it in different sizes. Could you maybe give us, like, what's on, like, your small versus your different sizes? How many, I guess, applications would you get from your average size?
Sure. So I have a sample size, which all of them just kind of depend how heavily you apply it. I would say like a sample size is good for 1 to 2 uses. And then we would move up to our small size, and that's good for like 2 or 3 uses. And then the medium, the large, and then I have a big, huge tub for my diehard glitter lovers. That's like 2-ounce bottle. And that one they just go crazy with. But as far as like actual application goes, it just really depends on how heavily you plan to apply it.
Now, I've read a little bit in your Facebook group about like keeping the product good, but let's say I got it for a trip that was this month and I'm not going to use it again till next trip that might be maybe a few months or a little bit ways down the road. How can I keep that product good? Do you have some options for that?
Yeah, so what I've kind of learned along the way is since it's aloe-based, obviously it will dry out. Any sunlight, harsh like heat or anything like that will definitely expedite it drying out. Some of my customers and reps have told me that they keep theirs in the refrigerator. So that's an option. I also offer a rehydration jar as well. So if it does dry out, it's not a lost cause. You don't have to throw it away or order more. You can just get the rehydration jar and then actually just like bring it back to life yourself.
Perfect. And do you have a favorite like glitter gel that you do that maybe you use a lot for your daughter, or just a favorite kind of design, I guess you could say?
Honestly, I'm a sucker for just a solid silver. Really pretty silver that matches everything. Silver picks up tons of different colors and lighting, and I also have little stars, like 4-point stars or traditional stars that are also silver. So just that kind of thing is super fun. And then she loves to wear glitter to her brother's baseball games, and I have little clay baseballs that I can mix in, or softballs, footballs, etc. So we can match any like team colors, and that's just like a super fun way to support him too.
Now, do you suggest, should it be rinsed out separate from like in the shower or the bath, or can you just wash your hair as normal with it?
No, you can just wash it normal. We've never had any issues as far as like drainage goes or anything like that. I know some people don't wash their hair every day, and that's perfectly fine. Because it's aloe based, you can actually just use like detanglers or just like a water bottle to loosen it up, brush it right out if it's not like a hair washing day, or just get in and just wash your hair like normal.
Perfect.
Now, you mentioned where people can find you. Can you tell us again one more time where folks can go to buy your awesome product?
Yeah, so I have a Facebook page, like a general page called A Scoop of Glitz, and then I have my VIP page, which is a private page, but it's still able to be searched, and you can just join in there, and that's where most of the magic happens. And then I also am growing an Instagram account and a TikTok account as well.
Perfect, and I will make sure to share all of those links in the show notes and all the ways that people can get a hold of you and order your products. So thank you so much, Kalyn, for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I hope you guys have so much fun on your cruise and going to see Mickey.
Thank you.
Thank you again to Kalyn for joining us today.
And now we are on to our 2-minute trivia and our Wisdom from Walt quote. And Chris, you are up with trivia.
Well, the focus was Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. Here's a couple of questions.
Okay.
What was the first year of the party?
I feel like it's been since 2000.
Yes.
Okay. Let's go with 2005.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was before then.
It was before. Oh, let's go with 1995.
You are right.
I am? Wow, I just said 2005, so I just
Well, actually, it restarted at Disneyland in 2005 after a short hiatus.
Oh, okay.
In 1995, how long were the festivities?
Oh, probably just like 2 or 3 hours.
You are right. One night. Then in 1996 expanded, it still was on Halloween. 97 expanded to 2, and then as of 2016, it's been 29 nights.
Wow, yeah, because they started in August, like right after.
Well,
my
it's more than
birthday.
29 nights then. So
yeah,
yes.
But it's not every night. Yeah, they have a couple nights a week.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow, that's interesting. Very interesting. Now, kind of going along with that theme about, I think Halloween makes me think of like being a kid and dressing up and all those fun things that we as adults don't normally do. So I thought this was a great quote. That's the real problem with the world. Too many people grow up. So during this spooky Halloween season, whether you're at Disney or you're at home, hopefully you can enjoy some of those fun aspects and dress up and eat some candy and just have a great holiday season. So thank you so much for joining us on this episode of the DisLove podcast with Vanessa and Chris. I'm Vanessa.
And I'm Chris. This podcast is not affiliated with the Walt Disney Company or its holdings, and it is intended for entertainment purposes only.